to SunQuest. I'm your host, SunQuest. And it turns out I'm a real nervous guy. So, after 6 hours of retakes, I decided just to go with this one, however which way it turns out. The SunQuest is gonna be a video where I analyze games which I've played myself. I've only been playing for 9 months, so I'm kind of a noob, but I understand most people who watch movies about Starcraft are noobs anyway, so that would probably work out. I wanted to be as good as possible at Starcraft before submitting this video, which is why I start submitting it at the absolute end of the GCC challenge. See you into my computer.
Hi, welcome back. This is my starting screen of Starcraft. It is the planet background because I think it captures Starcraft, the essence of Starcraft better with the stars. Even though Kerrigan does some crafting with the ball. If you look at that replay, I feel the star is the most important part of the name. I don't know, I could be wrong, but it's what I feel. I base it on that. I have an SEV as the user pictures. If any of you guys have tried using Cam Studio to capture gameplay, you know it's a but I think I've worked something out. So hopefully the frame rate isn't too horrible, and neither the quality. At least I've put the games on low settings, so Starcraft doesn't actually take any CPU at all, barely. It's all Cam Studio. I don't want to play a custom game. So, what I'm going to look today at is replays where I macro games. What I've done for emphasizing macro is that I'm playing against the elite AI, but I have the constraint that I'm not allowed to look at the AI's base. We're gonna start with Zerg, and I'll explain everything on the way. So, I'm not able to look at the AI's base, which basically means that any attack that I do will just be an... Hello? All in. Okay, so... my computer has the great function of randomly turning up the sound, so I might have to do this several times to keep the noise down. This is the level I had before. I don't know what it is, but yes, it will suddenly just turn it up to 100. But I'm listening to the microphone myself, so hopefully I will notice it and it won't cause that much distress. Okay, so let's get back to it. I'm gonna make it double size. What I'm doing in the beginning here for macro is something called stacking. Well, I notice I'll make the SEVs go to the closer mineral patches, which doesn't really change that much. It's just that I have nothing else to do in the beginning, so I might as well. Additional supply depots required. we're going to look from my perspective during the whole game to show what I'm looking at when I'm playing, and that I'm not looking at the AI space. So what I'm doing now is uh, I'm going to progress into MMM, and my build is I don't remember what build I was using. I think it's one Rex expand, because otherwise I would have taken a gas by now, and now I'm expanding. Yeah. So the essence of a build, I feel I like more than having an actual solid build to go by, as people recommend, like copying someone. I like to think of why I'm doing everything. And what you should always consider is that you want to be able to use all the buildings you make all the time, and in the same time not float. So let's say you have have 150 minerals. You don't want to build another barrack at that time, because there will probably be a need for an SCV and a marine to come out, and you'd need the minerals for that. But if you have 250 minerals and you only have one racks, then you're gonna want to build another barrack if you're not saving up for an expansion or something like that, because then you can afford it. So just remember to, and now I've forgotten to make more marines from the barracks, but the point is that all the buildings should constantly be working, and you shouldn't have minerals unused at the same time. Some things like gas, it takes 3 SCVs, so it takes more than the 80 minerals. It's like basically, but you can't do math. You can't math your way into knowing what builds you should do, because it just takes too much brain effort. I mean, if you're that smart, it's fine, but I don't know of anyone who's able to like calculate the exact value of everything. So, but what you're doing when you play the game many games, you will slowly get a feeling for what you can build and what you can afford at what time, in your subconscious, and that is the way to go. Now, if you make the same build throughout, you'd probably progress through the ladder faster, but you won't. I don't think you'll learn as much. It's much more valuable to have a feeling of what you can afford when, than to have a solid build and go directly into I don't know, gold or platinum, and then just getting stuck because you keep having to do exactly the same thing, and if someone disrupts you, you don't know how to handle it. So my way is slower, but I think it's steadier. I don't know. I haven't progressed that far, and we'll see eventually what it goes like. So anyway, I can look at some interesting things. Yeah, no, not that. I want to see active forces. So here you can see my army is more mineral expensive, but his army is more gas expensive. I don't know if you expanded yet. I'll just check everyone cam quickly. Yes, he's 3-3. It's same as mine. And now I'm moving out. And look, I'm not looking at the army. I've just A-clicked, which means that if you look at the minimap, my medivacs are just not caring at all of what they should do. But I get to move them. And now I just keep flooding units into their base, and because you can't do this kind of fun thing where you don't look against a human player, because they will see when your units act stupidly and act upon it, but the AI don't know that, so A-clicking is fine against the AI. Obviously I don't recommend you playing without looking at the enemy's base at any time. It will greatly increase the possibility of you losing. So just it's just for fun and for showing macro. So now you see I'm 200 and he's 18. He's lost already. He just don't want to give up. He's going to do it soon, you see. And he just moves. And I almost looked at his bait there, but it wouldn't have mattered because I've already won, and now it's over. Okay, so that was against Zerg. It was the AI is pretty bad against Zerg. Actually, overall, Zerg is very weak against good macro because they can't really do a death ball like Terran or Protoss, or not in the same way anyway. Their death ball would probably leave something like a lot of swarm hosts just gathering up in a place and very mobile and things like that. So you see the lol on Terran. I'll come to that later. So this is the game against Protoss. I feel my Protoss is actually my strongest matchup. I fucking sound. I think it's everyone. Every time I start a new game, the volume gets turned up. I'm just gonna start it so I can pause and go into the settings. Playback devices, recording, microphone, properties, level. And I take it down to 35 again to reduce the noise. Okay, let's get back into the game. We'll do this in twice the speed as well. So again, I'm doing the stacking. This is nothing you have to do. It's a slight mineral increase, and I'm doing it just because I have nothing else to do. So yeah, Protoss is my strongest matchup at the moment because I play a very aggressive style where I start pushing at 10 minutes or something like that, and then I just keep pushing all the time. And a Protoss army without robotics bay units is very weak against the MMA style. And most players aren't able to get out that many robotics bay units. Oh, is it called robotics bay? Yeah, I think it is. I'm gonna just check it quick. No. Yeah, robotics bay. Unlocks Colossus. Wait, where do they get the robotics facility? Yeah, so the Immortal is pretty good against an MMA as well, which doesn't make sense because the Marines with their multiple attacks should be strong against the Immortal. It's just that the Immortal attack like one-shots Marines, so unless you have your army is very large, a large army of a high supply army with Immortals will probably lose against a high supply army of Marines, but a low supply army of Immortals will win against a low supply army of Marines, just because you can focus fire in the same way and just kill off the Mortals before they one-shot all the Marines to death. So here's a scout. The AI, I think they just send a scout for fun. Later in the game, they try to spot the most exposed expansion and kill that one off. I can watch more fun tabs. I can look at my APM. As you see, my APM is significantly slower than the AI. It's probably never gonna pass 100 during this game because it's, as I said, it's a macro focused, and I don't do any micro, and APM rarely goes over 100 just during macro. I think it shows that it's going to the 100, so I think that's the highest APM I ever come up with macro. But what you see when you see players in high level tournaments having a mean macro, a mean APM of like 300, it's just that they micro during the whole game. Like I think my max APM that I've recorded in a replay is 350. So I've been at those numbers. It's just that I don't constantly have that high of actions. so pros just like micro all the time, constantly when playing, and that's why they have so high APM in the end of the game. And that's something I want to achieve. Right now I think my mean APM is at something like 60, even when I play seriously against players on the ladder, which I think like at 150 is usually what's required to be able to get into like grandmasters and things like that, and higher than that is good if you continue. So you see my army is just fighting. If you look at the minimap here, you can just see the dots fighting, and I'm not even gonna care if they die or not, because they don't seem to, I don't know, for some reason I assumed they didn't have an expansion, and they don't. I don't remember what I was thinking there. That's actually the first, when you start scouting. I haven't scouted during these games because it's an AI, it doesn't matter what you do. He'll do something stupid anyway. But when you're scouting, the first thing you should notice is expansion levels, especially against Zerg, because they sometimes, it's a high, the army a Zerg player can get up if they do a hatchery first or a spawning pool first is very important. So you should always scout a Zerg at 3 or 4 minutes to make sure that they made a hatchery before they made a spawning pool. And if they made a spawning pool first, then you bunker up, you don't expand, you just make units and you stay in your base, because you're gonna get plowed by some Zerglings or Banelings, or he's doing it wrong. So yeah, if you expand and the Zerg player is on one base and I gone pool first, you'd probably lose. I mean, there is high level players that manage to survive, but that's through like some insane running around with SCVs units and protecting themselves, and you probably won't be able to do it. And it's just plain better to scout out. I think my next video will be against I'll record some games against aggressive Zerg that does the spawning pool first, and I'll just show how I handle it. It's basically, if I'm able to spot it and I react the correct way, I win. If I don't, I lose. And it basically turns into a cheese like that. But as I said, in high level, it's no longer. It's viable to not scout and not do things like that. So we'll check the active forces again. Now we'll see I have 3 base. I'm building my 4th base, and I'm pretty sure he also has 1. So I'm not looking at the armies, I'm just looking at I can see here then all my units are yellow, and I see on the minimap that my units are clearly outnumbering his, and I've won at this point, because I'm making my 4th expand. He has as well, but the AI can't use that. He's just playing a macro game and I'm playing a macro game, and my army is superior and I'm getting constant reinforcements, and he's gonna die. I expanded here because I feel like since my army is moving this direction, I can, if this gets attacked, it's easy to change the direction of the reinforcements to go over here. Since I assumed that if he was expanding, he would expand here, and now I scanned it, so I know that he expanded there. But that means that his units could protect this and then go to attack here, and I'd like to have it here, so he has to choose between protecting himself or attacking me. But that's as long as, so yeah, he's lost. He's just too stupid to realize it. He's gonna GG soon. Yeah, he did, and I ended. So okay, I have these were pretty easy.
I'm the editor of the SunQuest. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The time here right now is 3 a.m. and I've been doing subtitles for maybe 9 hours. When I saw the first version of the SunQuest, I thought it was a bit boring, especially based on the way I talked. That is something that the way our analysts talked. That is something I must fix. Like, be louder and sound more funny. So I figured the subtitles would be a fun way to mix things up and make it be more funny. And I think it worked. I like my subtitles. I think they're funny. But it's just too much work. Okay. And I should have stopped a long time ago. I just didn't think about it and kept making them. I'll still make like a few, like the funny texts about what I'm doing, what our analyst is doing weird in the top and things like that. But like the bottom subtitles are gone. So if you've watched this long, you're probably gonna keep on watching. So I think it's okay. Thanks for your consideration.
I think that's how I noticed my improvements first, because when I started in Silver League, I I like I won against the AI elite sometimes, like 60 or 70%, and then I played a lot of games in Silver League, and I haven't managed to get into gold. But when I play the AI, even if it's an elite level, I have such an easy time defeating him. It's ridiculous. Okay, so going to Terran, and I'm gonna fix the sound directly, because I didn't have to pause it the other time, so I could just why do you do that? Why can't you listen to me sometimes? This relationship isn't gonna work if you just keep designing on yourself. I want to dominate my computers. This is why I used Linux before, but I just ended up using Windows as everyone else in the end, because I'm weak. But I want to decide. I don't want my computer to make my decisions. I want to make the computer's decisions. So that's oh well. So now I'm gonna explain the lol against Terran. Terran has a unit. I don't know if you heard about it. It's called the siege tank. And if you remember, I told you I play the MMM style. And I don't know if you've tried to A-click. What I mean with A-click, if it's pressing the A button, which makes units attack, and then just click on the enemy base and then don't care what they do. If you do this, if you just attack straight on a siege tank, everything will die, because siege tanks are mean as hell. So this game ain't gonna display what the other games displayed. Me winning with my macro, because I'm not going to be able to win with macro only. I'm blaming the siege tanks. Maybe someone can win with macro only and just A-click in if they like make another kind of unit or like another composition. Maybe a mech army could just ignore the high damage of the siege tank and just plow through. But I don't play mech, and so I'm not that confident on my macro. it would actually be fun to see if someone could do this challenge of only A-clicking into the enemy base and win against the Terran AI because of the siege tanks. I mean, if I just A-click at this moment, if I do a rush and I try to make all the kind of Marines and attack, I really need micro, and since that's not allowed, they just die. I actually tried to win against the Terran a lot of times just because I wanted to record a game of me winning against all AI, playing all races, and Terran was almost impossible because of the siege tanks. I'm blaming the siege tanks. I don't know it was siege tanks. It was a square down here in the minimap that was slightly larger than the other squares, and it killed everything. So I assumed it was a siege tank every time. Also, from playing some games in my time, I know that Terran usually makes a siege tank that kills everything. So I'm just assuming it's a siege tank. I weren't sure. But what I did play this game and I won without looking at his base. But I didn't do it without micro. I did some minimap macro. So I guess what I'm going to display here is that you're able to micro to the minimap, which probably is valuable. So just like being able to focus on the, oh, I haven't increased the speed, that's why it's going to so slow. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to play it in normal speed. I want to get to the exciting part fast. Yeah, so what this game is going to be about is minimap micro rather than good macro. And I've already displayed the army values and the buildings and things like that, so I'm just gonna speed things up until it gets exciting. So this is just for fun. The educational part of the video is over. If that was all you came from, then thank you for visiting, and Zerg rushing will be the next topic, or Zerg pool first will be the next topic. If you want to see an exciting, fun game, then stay tuned, because we're gonna see some drops now. So if you look at, I made this is pretty large, and I accidentally looked, but since I was alright because I didn't have the thing. What I forgot to do is that I hotkeyed the medivacs but not the units, and now I dropped them, you see, and I can't reselect them because I can't look at their base. So they're just all gonna die, or they're not gonna move. They're gonna stay there and fight, and I'm not gonna be able to use stim. Yeah, so that was a bad idea. But I learned now that when you hotkey your drop, you should hotkey the units first, and I'm doing this now. If you see the one, I have hotkeyed all the units, and then take them into the, or am I just gonna A-click this? No, I just put them here for defending my expansion. Yeah, and then I don't know if that's a scout or not. I don't wanna break my. Okay, I'm just gonna look. Yeah, it is. And this is where I'm looking now. So yeah. Okay, I just want to see the good drop. I'm gonna increase the speed because this is boring. Okay, now some dropping. Now you're gonna see oh, okay, yeah. So I just hotkeyed the medivacs again before so I did that. I started doing a drop, and then they attacked. And I usually, when I do this, I never retreat. No retreat, no surrender. I'm starting to float as well, so I just say everything's horrible. But I'm not gonna retreat. I'm fighting. If you look here, and so I'm fighting here. I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to micro here, and so yeah, I try to stop this army the best I can, but I'm not able to. So they're gonna destroy my base, and it's gonna be a base race, and it's gonna be a base race where I can't look at his base. it's gonna be. If you look at the time, the game is just started, but I'm if you look at the minimap, I'm wrecking him right now. Like everything's dying. Like seriously, and here he comes with a few army, and they die. It's really fun. I just noticed this when playing this game. It's really fun to see like they move so they flow. You see like a flow much more than you would in. So here my shit's dying, and I just don't care about that anymore. I'm gonna expand. I have all these minerals, and I'm gonna build bases everywhere. And he's an AI, so he's stupid. Now he's even getting revealed. Oh, he didn't reveal his base. And, oh shit. Oh no, they're attacking me. Oh well, I guess this base is dead. I just assumed, and oh, that was spotted. So I build another one. I still have all this mineral, and they're not having a base. And now I fight that, and I destroyed it. And these are like his last SCVs. And now he doesn't. I think it's what. Yeah, he doesn't have. He can't afford another base, so he just have this army, and I have this army. And I'm trying to. Oh, and then there comes the army, and I fight that one. I kill that one, killed it dead. So I just have this last army that was moving here left. But I'm gonna try to destroy as many buildings as possible. Just base trade the shit out of him. But what's this? There's like 10 minutes left of the game. Oh no! And then his army comes, and again, and you can look. Oh shit, I'm gonna slow down. There's 4 units. It's 3 and I. Oh oh shit. Oh no. It's just. Oh no. Okay, so I have no units, but I have all these minerals. And he has an army, but no minerals. So the question is he able to destroy me before I rebuild my units? And the answer is no, because he's an AI and he's stupid. That's why I win. I'm not deluding myself that this was well done. If he played with a mind, he'd win. And now he spots this base, and I try to destroy. I don't know if I should have focused on the medivacs or not, because I'd kill so much if it wasn't for these medivacs. But he just wrecks me. But he can't. He have only marauders left. I spot that now. I didn't know that before, because I couldn't look at his army back here. So yeah, he has these 3 marauders, and marauders can't attack air. And I know I can't get an army up fast enough to kill him, but I can just float away with my stuff, and he can kill it. So I mean, it's a draw, or I've won. But I don't want to draw on this. He have no SCVs and no buildings. Maybe I have some SCVs. I'm gonna pause and check. Everyone. Oh yeah, I can use units. So yeah, he has a lot of SCVs, but no base and no money. So no, SunQuest. I wanna check my camera. And he kills this, and I'm just okay. So I've used up all my minerals that I had earlier. I'm gonna speed it up with twice the speed. Yeah, rock that guitar a bit. Sorry for language. I don't know if I'm allowed that language in the competition. If it gets censored, I'm just. Can I peep that? Okay, I'm just gonna peep it to be sure. So yeah, I said a bad word, and it's gonna be beeped when you hear it. I really like the censoring function of Starcraft as well. I always have it on. I think like these weird letters feels more like a swear word than it's more like a swear word than actually saying a bad word, because that's like no fun. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we've heard that everyone swears all the time. I'm probably allowed to say bad words, but I'm gonna censor it anyway, because I love censoring. I think it makes it so much more effect hearing like this loud beep than hearing a swear word that you've heard throughout your whole life from everyone. Your mother probably says it. Now you can see my superior marine army is wrecking everything. He holds there, and they're going NEGG. Yeah, GG. And the sensor. I like talking to the AI. It's yeah. It's S is so it's like GG is. That's what it said. So it's like slang in the text. I only trash talk with AI. I never trash talk people online. So yeah, that was my first episode. I hope I like it. I hope my quality was alright. I'm gonna, let's see, what have you, 15 FPS. So the fast movements, when I move they really fast, you're not gonna see that, but hopefully it's alright. Thank you for watching.
Hi. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the SunQuest. The very first episode of the SunQuest. I know I did. But it was a lot of work. It is. You'll notice I will always watch in this direction. I don't know if it was obvious, but my computer is in this direction. So whenever I think of my computer, I look in that direction. I think what I've been trying to say during the episode is of value, but I'm not saying it good enough. I thought I have this positive attitude enough to really like sound fun and bring up an episode, bring up a show like this. But I think I sound like I was going to cry during the whole thing. Maybe I am doing that now as well. Oxo, as they say in Sweden. Yeah. So just the way I talk is something I must work on. Like louder and clearer, maybe slower at times. No, probably not. Just less mumbling, more so that you know when you should listen and when you should not. Yeah. Not working. These are OLEDs.